You're a prolific writer. You've written 10 books on a multitude of medical topics. You're known as a head to toe healer, which that's what, in my opinion, my humble opinion, everyone should be. So we were talking before we started recording. My doctorate's in physical rehabilitation, and I literally had an orthopedic surgeon ask me one time, "Why are you working on this patient's knee when or why are you working on their hip when it's their knee that's causing them pain?" I said, "What's that bone?" Femur. He's like, "Why would you ask me that?" I said, "Well, what's that bone?"
It
The femur.
connects.
Oh, imagine that. It's the same bone.
Yeah.
Oh, what a novel concept. But I mean, literally, you can have a big toe, lack of great toe extension, that leads to a mid-thoracic spine issue. You can have an upper cervical spine that's locked up that leads to a lumbar issue. So talk to us about, connecting the dots, both physiologically and biomechanically.
Yeah. Well, it happened to me, I guess you can say by accident. I was into nutrition, I was into mindfulness. I didn't have an understanding of the musculoskeletal system. And then my body started breaking down in my late 30s from, I've been at a computer for 20, 25 years and, slunched over doing all this and I couldn't figure it out. And then one day, somebody introduced me to postural alignment therapy. And I started meeting people that were getting out of wheelchairs. And I'm like, you didn't change your diet at all? And they're like, no, I eat Doritos. I'm like, what? And I'm just like, so I tried it and I was out of pain in 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I went back to school at like 40 years old, which was very difficult, by the way.
Yeah.
The human mind isn't meant for school at 40 years old. It's like you want to slam your head against a wall.
Right.
It was very difficult. And so I learned the musculoskeletal system to the best of my ability as quick as possible. And I learned this new therapy as quick as possible. And then I combined it with the nutrition and the mindfulness. And that's what I call head to toe healing. And it connects everything. So, if there's something wrong with your feet, I want to see your ears. If there's something wrong with your ears, I want to see your feet. And so I started evaluating bodies through photos and being able to zoom in on the feet and see how even looking at the direction the toes are going in is going to tell me how they're walking, things like this. And it just blew people's minds, and eventually it just blew up on social media, and I ended up attracting an audience. But yeah, we have tons of testimonies, um, all on video, and it's working.
Talk to us about what is postural alignment therapy. Who's the founder of that therapy?
As far as I know, it's Peter Egoscue, and he
Okay,
came out.
yeah. I have this book somewhere.
Yeah, he came out with a method called the Egoscue method. All I've done is just stood on his shoulders. It's in that category. I'm standing on everyone's shoulders.
Right,
I tell people all the time, I didn't invent the bread. I didn't invent the peanut butter. I didn't invent the jelly. I just made the sandwich.
right.
So I have no problem with saying I'm standing on other people's shoulders. And yeah, Peter Egoscue is definitely the godfather, if you will, of postural therapy. There's also the Alexander technique from back in the day.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of other techniques out there, but the bottom line is muscles move bones.
Right,
So if we get the muscles back in order, the bones will come back. I mean, it's not going to take 2 days. It might take 2 years.
right.
So yeah, that it's a very powerful understanding.
Yeah, I'm doing right now oral myofunctional therapy because I have a tongue tie and I have to have it released, but you don't want to release a tongue tie if you haven't retrained the muscles of the tongue and face. And my colleague tells me that because it's non-ablative now, it's just done with a laser. He says when he does it, or I have several people told me this, when they release it, they have people, they can feel the release all the way down, to their lumbar spine, sacrum, because of the fascial connections.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. The fascia is just like elastic bands just connecting everything. It's I've studied the whole body. I've studied
Yeah,
everything, man. The brain, the feet, everything. Nothing's more fascinating than the musculoskeletal system, in my opinion, because it's the
I
actual vehicle. It's the actual structure that we walk around Earth with. And the way I
yeah,
teach it is nutrition is the fuel that goes into the vehicle.
right,
And then mindfulness training, that's just getting the onboard computer in line. Every machine has an onboard computer, at least in this era. And
right.
so those are the three sections. And if you get them in order, the body heals.